Tonight, breaking news, all southbound lanes on I-95 near County Road 210 are blocked, as you see there, because of a crash. The routes you can take so you're not stuck in that traffic backup. Right now, multiple people are hurt because of a crash near the Duval-St. Johns County line. Welcome, everyone, to Action News Jax this morning. I'm Phil Amato.
I'm Letitia Barriola. The crash involved multiple cars. If you see there to our left, just major backup. This was earlier today when a helicopter was starting to land. This leads our team coverage this morning, which includes how to maneuver the roadways so you won't be late for work, or if you know someone in this now. We'll start with Action News Jax, Alicia Tarancon, live at the scene. I know it took you a second there to actually get in place, but Alicia, this is bad. Two patients had to be airlifted to the hospital.
And as you mentioned before, I-95 south at the Duval County line, that's completely blocked. And of course, it's having some major impacts over here on US 1. You can see we actually pulled over, and cars over here, they're just inching by us. We actually got stuck in this traffic this morning. I want you to go ahead and take a look at this video. Troopers tell us that multiple cars are involved, and there's numerous injuries at this crash at I-95 south. They tell us that 2 people were airlifted to local hospitals, and that's video of the helicopter landing and taking off with patients inside. The crash happened just after 6 a.m. at the I-95 South mile marker 331. We're going to go straight out to Maritza Ross in the First Alert Traffic Center with more on how to get around this major crash.
Yeah, I'm following the scene here, Alicia, and we've been following it for the past hour or so. It looks like we're making some progress live right now here from our Florida 511 camera. You're taking a look at just kind of crews kind of leaving the scene. Some of them are leaving the scene. We got a record there. We also have some of the road rangers still very active, though. They're zooming the camera out there, just kind of showing now grass, but either way, we're seeing that backup right there, and I'm still following that. This is actually the northbound backup now that we're looking at. There are those vehicles that we were kind of following there, leaving the scene. Let me just go ahead and switch this and show you just kind of the backups around the area. There's Racetrack Road. That's where traffic is being diverted over to the rest stop there. That's a one-laner, so that's really causing the slowdown and the backup stretching now 4 or 5 miles. There's I-95 and mile marker 330. That's the backup right there, stretching really far out towards the St. Johns County line. Once again, both ways, southbound and northbound traffic is being affected by this. Still have the vehicles that were involved in the crash on the scene there, but it seems that they have moved them out of the way. So that's certainly some good news there, but this is still going to be a while. So let's talk about some drive times here. Bartram Springs to, say, the St. Augustine outlets, it's about 46 minutes. So we're seeing double the time there. Your best bet is to take US 1, but a lot of people are doing that. So we're also seeing an uptick in that time. It's about 35 minutes. And if you do decide to take St. Johns County Parkway, that's 40 minutes. And also from St. Johns to Sampson, that's also taking about 20 minutes. So you want to heads up in that area. That's the latest from Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center. Garrett?
And we're tracking at 8:02. First Alert Doppler HD here as Tropical Depression Fred moves well to the north of Jacksonville, but we still have a feed of moisture that stretches from, say, central and northern Georgia all the way back to the Gulf of Mexico, and that's where we're seeing the scattered showers here this morning from Lake City over into even western Baker County as that feed of moisture continues to move in, and that will shift more to the east and into Jacksonville by the evening commute. But today, the first day of school for Putnam County. We're in the 80s this morning, a dry first half of the day with some afternoon thunderstorms. Here's what we're talking about hour by hour. There's 3, 4, 5 o'clock. That rain making it all the way over to the, say, Atlantic coast. And I-95 will be tracking some even evening showers and thunderstorms as well, with some rain lingering into the nighttime. But I am tracking more rain and storms as we head through the rest of the week, and also temperatures back into the 90s. That's coming up in your Action News Jax First Alert 7-day forecast. It's 8:03.
Breaking overnight, the Biden administration is expected to advise that most Americans will need a COVID-19 booster shot. This is 8 months after being fully vaccinated. The plan is still in the works, but it could be announced as early as this week. A CNN source says Americans could start getting their third shot starting next month, or if you had Johnson & Johnson, your second shot. Pfizer has already submitted initial data to the FDA to support the use of a booster dose for its COVID-19 vaccine. Previously, federal health officials have said booster shots are not needed by the general population. New this morning, a local hospital seeing the highest number of COVID-19 deaths in months. UF Health is reporting so far 58 people have died from the virus in August.
There's a treatment, though, that can help those who've contracted the virus. Action News Jack's Jessica Barreto is live downtown for us to tell us more. And Jessica, a monoclonal site at the Jacksonville Library downtown will treat hundreds starting this morning.
That's right, and it's just an hour away from opening. There are already signs posted outside of the Jacksonville Library downtown, and there are also signs posted here on the door. This is where folks will begin to enter to receive that treatment. Now, the governor tweeting that this site will treat 300 plus patients a day. Now, we spoke to a local father who got the antibody treatment less than 2 weeks ago at a local hospital. He was vaccinated but had most symptoms associated with COVID and says this therapy improved his condition dramatically.
I was nervous, because, you just don't know, but really it was painless, really just, sit there and chill out and, let it do its work. But within 2 days, I would say 90% of my taste and smell back.
Now, this site will be open 7 days a week from 9 to 5, and you don't need a referral to receive this treatment. You just have to be 12 and older and either recently diagnosed or exposed to COVID and be at a high risk of complications. Reporting live in downtown Jacksonville, Jessica Barreto, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
A local business offering monoclonal antibody treatment in Jacksonville. Crucial Care starting an outpatient service to provide relief for overcrowded hospitals. So far, they've helped over 600 patients, and treatment is available either by a referral or walk-in basis. The address on your screen. Some parents have concerns about the ventilation system in the Duval County Public Schools and how that could affect the spread of COVID-19. We told you last week students at some Duval County schools were without air conditioning. According to DCPS, most AC projects were supposed to be finished by the start of the school year, yet some students are still in hot classrooms.
It puts my daughter, not just only her, but all kids at risk, actually, honestly, of contracting it and them taking it back home to their, to their parents or their households.
The district says the half-cent sales tax is the long-term solution for issues like this in the oldest school buildings in the state. Yes, they are in our county in Duval. But in the short term, the district says maintenance crews are responding to issues as they happen. Action News Jax is working to learn exactly which schools are in need of repair.
This morning, new video shows the desperate attempts of people to get out of Afghanistan since the Taliban took over. What you're seeing are the cars and people trying to get to the last bit of Afghanistan that's not controlled by the Taliban. Now, tens of thousands of Afghan refugees are looking to the United States as a safe haven. Action News Jax' Kirsten Garris is live from Capitol Hill this morning for us. And Kirsten, the Pentagon is scrambling to find space for all these refugees now.
The Department of Defense says it's looking to relocate up to 22,000 Afghan refugees at various military bases. The agency is even considering support from another country to house these refugees too. Now, these refugees have applied for special immigrant visas. The Pentagon says it's working to create additional space at 2 military bases, Fort Bliss in Texas and Fort McCoy in Wisconsin. The department says it may add more sites if needed as well. But this effort, as you can imagine, comes at a cost. President Joe Biden has directed the Secretary of State to use up to $500 million from the Emergency Refugee and Migration Assistance Fund.
Kirsten, you've been digging into how many Afghan refugees have come to the States. How many have relocated to Florida?
Federal records show from last October to this July, almost 500 Afghan refugees have relocated here to the United States. Taking a closer look at Florida, only 1 refugee moved to the Sunshine State. A majority of those Afghan refugees moved to California and New York. Live in Washington, D.C., Kirsten Garris, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
Live in St. Augustine on the Action News Jax First Alert Skycam Network here in St. Johns County this morning. We're tracking a nice little morning, actually. We've got some sunshine and temperatures in the 70s to near 80. We'll be in the low 80s by 9 a.m. and then topping out in the upper 80s to near 90 today. Some mid to late afternoon showers, heavy downpours possible here as we get some moisture working in from the Gulf of Mexico. But a lot of dry hours as well here today in St. Augustine. But we are tracking the tropics for you, too. What else is out in the Atlantic and Caribbean? That's coming up in the Action News Jax First Alert 7-day forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
Good morning. Well, the busy tropics continue, as Garrett is telling you about this morning. And yesterday, Fred coming ashore not far from where Michael came ashore late in the afternoon hours. But Michael, a much stronger, much more powerful hurricane, a Cat 5. And also, though, with that close landfall, we had some bands and clusters of storms right here close to home. It was the fourth landfalling named storm of the year so far, all tropical storms. More Talking the Tropics with Mike at ActionNewsJax.com and our free First Alert weather app.
And I'm updating some drive times here for you just to give you some perspectives. I'm still following that crash on I-95 just south of Racetrack Road. This is going southbound. That's where that crash is at. You can see that right here just before County Road 210. So your drive times here just to give you a perspective of what's going on and how that scene is pretty backed up. E-Town to Durbin Park, which is not very far, just on off of I-295 up to 9B. Well, it's taking about 32 minutes to go to US 1 on 9B. That's your best bet. That's taking 10 minutes, but we are seeing that number still kind of increase, but it's increasing slowly. E-Town to Nocatee, if you're going to the east, well, it's taking about 33 to 36 minutes. So that's a major backup right there. So your best bet is to go ahead and take 9B to Racetrack, and that's shaving a couple minutes there, but it's still 23 minutes. That's the latest from Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center.
The Bold City could soon turn into the Port City. Coming up, the contract that will create jobs at Jacksonville shipyards.
The FDA shedding light on the sunscreen that's in your cabinet. Coming up, a closer look at the ingredients you gotta look out for to make sure you're protected.
A new report finds many sunscreens don't offer enough protection.
Experts say you should look at the chemicals in your sunscreen before you check it out. Action News Jax Don Lopez explains that an environmental group says only 25% of sunscreens in stores meet this group's standards.
Vanessa Prota regularly puts sunscreen on her kids, whether the family is getting ready for a day at the beach or visiting the park on a cloudy day.
Why is it important? Why does she do that?
Because or then sun will burn you.
They're avoiding sunburns and avoiding certain chemicals by buying mineral-based sunscreens.
Is it hard to find at all?
No, not really. You find it most places.
There are safer products available now in more mainstream stores.
Nika Laiba with the Environmental Working Group also pays attention to what's in the sunscreen. Her team evaluated more than 1,800 different products and found just 25% met the group standards.
How effective they are at providing adequate broad spectrum protection. And then we look at the inactive ingredients to make sure that those also aren't linked to health harms.
The FDA is now researching sunscreen chemicals, and new rules are expected in the fall. But EWG is urging consumers to switch to mineral products now. EWG says look for zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, or both. The minerals reflect UV rays and are not absorbed in the skin. The group says avoid sunscreens with the chemical oxybenzone, which is easily absorbed and linked to health concerns.
We want to make sure that they cover it up.
Parents taking a proactive approach to sun protection and overall health.
There's a new challenger in the race for Jacksonville Sheriff. Chief of Investigations T.K. Waters just registered as a Republican. He joins three other candidates, Assistant Chief Lakeisha Burton, Republican Matthew Nemeth, and former Duval County School Assistant Police Chief Wayne Clark, who's running as a Democrat. Current Sheriff Mike Williams will term out in 2023. New this morning, the Atlanta Falcons are the first NFL team to have its entire roster vaccinated against COVID-19. That's according to a statement on the team's website. Officials say this means the team can eat and work out together and won't have to be tested on a daily basis. They also don't have to wear masks while around the Falcons facility. The NFL says, as of last week, nearly 92% of the entire league has received COVID-19 shots.
The search is on for a robbery suspect. This is out of the San Marco area. We've got a picture here of the suspect. His name is Donald Hayden. Police say he robbed a bank on Atlantic Boulevard back on April 30th. If you know where he is, call police.
Construction on the Buckman Bridge is finally done. We told you earlier this summer when someone spotted a gap in the bridge. It caused some massive traffic backups, too. A bridge had to be fixed with finger joints, which are comb-like tools that close the bridge. For the past few weekends, lanes had to close so that temporary fix could turn into a permanent one.
Now, Action News Jax First Alert Weather.
8:17, a First Alert meteorologist Gary Beatonball still tracking Fred here. A tropical depression moving through Atlanta, seeing some flooding on the roadways, the interstates there. A lot of heavy tropical downpours and also a tornado watch in effect through early this afternoon. Now for us, we still have the tropical moisture connection. It's kind of feeding all the way back down into the Gulf of Mexico. So some showers for us here, especially along and just east of I-75 this morning. You've seen some on and off showers and mostly cloudy skies there in Lake City, but very hit and miss showers here right now. It's dry in Jacksonville as Fred moves off to the north. We'll see a lot of heavy rain in the Appalachian states there, but we will be tracking, for us at least, some afternoon heavy downpours. We got some sunshine here mixed with clouds at JIA live on the Action News Jax First Alert Skycam network. We're at 80 degrees. The next several hours here in your biking forecast, we're in the mid 80s, 10 a.m., upper 80s by 2 o'clock, and topping out in the upper 80s to near 90 today. Winds about 10 to 15 miles per hour. But we will have the afternoon downpours to worry about if you're heading out for a bike ride or exercise. So here's the hour-by-hour forecast here with the rain moving with the individual cells to the north and east as that line generally shifts to the east for the evening commute here in Jacksonville between 4 and 6 p.m., moving from western Duval all the way to the beaches and including the I-95 corridor. St. Augustine, a lot more dry hours than, say, Duval County, just with the orientation of that, say, axis of moisture that's moving from the tropics. But we are going to be seeing at least a few showers there today, likely, especially later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. So a quick half-inch of rain possible in many spots here today if you get under one of the heavy downpours. Henri, a tropical storm here south and east of Bermuda, but we're also tracking Grace that's in the Caribbean, impacting, say, Jamaica today, and still seeing some bands of rain over western Haiti. This will be moving off to the Yucatan Peninsula, strengthening somewhat just below hurricane strength or perhaps even a Cat 1 hurricane by, say, Thursday into Friday as it moves into the Bay of Campeche. But an area of high pressure to near us is blocking it from heading this way. So that's some good news. The next name is Ida, by the way, on the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season list. Now 90 tomorrow, some scattered rain and thunderstorms, sea breeze variety. They'll be advancing inland with time west of Jacksonville for the bulk of the afternoon commute. 92 by Friday, but less coverage of the storms, and that continues into Saturday and Sunday. A lot of dry hours in the mornings with some isolated afternoon thunderstorms. You can always get this forecast anytime on the Action News Jax First Alert weather app and join Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish at 4 on Fox 30. Here's Maritza Ross with your Action News Jax First Alert traffic forecast.
Yeah, I've been following the crash on I-95 southbound at mile marker 331. This is south of Racetrack Road since just after 6 o'clock. The scene is still active. And just to give you an idea what's going on, southbound traffic on I-95 past Racetrack Road just before County Road 210. That's where the crash is. So traffic is being diverted over to the rest stop that is there. That's a 1 lane. We've seen about 5 to 6 mile backup. Also seen a backup for northbound traffic on I-95, and you're taking a live look there at just how slow traffic is moving in that area. Now, one thing I want to point out, I want to show you big screen here, is we are making progress on this accident. In fact, I'm counting on them kind of opening these 2 lanes here, the 2 right lanes there. They are starting to kind of get that scene ready. They've moved out several vehicles out of the way. You can see the scene is now on the shoulder and on that left lane. So I wouldn't be surprised within the next half hour, maybe even to an hour, that they open up parts of I-95. Now, I'm going to keep watching this. Hopefully it is sooner, but that's definitely some good news for commuters on I-95 going southbound. That's the latest from Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center.
3 big things you need to know, powered by Safe Touch Security.
Good Tuesday to you. Clark Howard has tips to help you build your credit score up. What you need to have in your wallet that could actually help you. JSO's Chief of Investigations, TK Waters, announces his entry into the race, which is now crowded for Jacksonville Sheriff in a couple of years. Duval Public Schools will not allow visitors or volunteers within schools until at least September 7th to try to slow the spread of COVID-19. WOKV's 3 big things you need to know, powered by Safe Touch Security.
There's a debate over how easily children can transmit the coronavirus. Coming up in 15 minutes, the new study that shows which children are most likely to pass along COVID to a sibling or other household member. And an animal trainer safe this morning after she was bitten by an alligator while at a children's birthday party. Miss this. Coming up, the unlikely person that jumped in to save that woman.
All right, guys, this video is going viral, and it shows a man springing into action when an alligator, latches on and bites an animal handler, drags her into the water. You're going to see this happening, so I want to warn you, it can be a bit disturbing here, but the woman does survive, and she's got pretty minor injuries, too. So you see this video. Oh, boy, grabs her hand there, doing a demonstration, and then they start wrangling with each other there. He actually pulls her in. This is during a birthday party. See these kids watching? Finally, one parent grab their kids away so they don't have to witness this. Just whipping her all around there. Look at this man on the back of this gator while the other guy pulls her out of there. My goodness. And that was a guest at the party, Donnie Wiseman. He's the one that got on top and held down without any hesitation. The trainer was able to break through, pull to safety. Now he's left to deal with this animal here. So the woman is expected to survive her injuries. She's all right. Meanwhile, this man right here who handled it like, a real boss. I can't believe he's just a guy with no training. Anyway, they're calling him Crocodile Dundee, or Donnie, sorry, Crocodile Donnie on social media.
It's going to be a lot busier here at Naval Station Mayport. Ahead, we're going to show you the training that first responders are undergoing so that they can respond to threats or emergency situations.